बिहारी जय राधा माधव जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा जय गोपीचन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपीचन वल्लभ जय गोपीचन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपीचन वल्लभ यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यशोदानंदन यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यशोदानंदन यमुनातीरावनचारि यमुनातीरावनचारि यमुनातीरा जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम जय राधा गोपी वल्लभ राधा गोपी वल्लभ राधे जय राधा गोपी वल्लभ राधा जय किशोर किशोरी जय किशोर किशोरी किशोर किशोरी जय किशोर किशोरी जय किशोर जय जगन्नाथ बलदेव जय सुभद्रा जय जगन्नाथ जय गौरनिताय 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 जय गौरनिताय जय गौरनिताय गौरनिताय जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद गौरवानंदे हरि ओम जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमेश्वर स्वामी संशील प्रभुपाद की जय अनंत बड़े वैष्णव वृंद की जय गौरवानंदे हरि बोल ऑल गुरु हरे कृष्ण all glories to Sumliri Hare Krishna, all glories to Sumliri Hare Krishna, all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga Gauri Varshil Gopal ki. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 74, Slok number 6. We'll read the word-to-word translation first and then we'll go to Shloka. Sri Shuka Uvacha. Sukadeva Goswami said, Iti, thus, Uktva, speaking, Yaggiye, appropriate for a sacrifice, Kale, at the time, Vavare, choose, Yuktan, suitable, Saha, he, Ritvijaha, sacrificial priest, Krishna, by Lord Krishna, Anumoditaha, sanctioned, Parthaha, the son of Partha, Yudhishthir, Brahman, Brahmanas, Brahma, of the Vedas, Vadina, expert authorities. Shri Shuka Uvacha Ityukta Yagye Kale Vabre Yuktansa Rutvijaha Krishnanumito Unmandito Partho Brahmanan Brahmavadina. Shri Shuka Uvacha Ityukta Yagye Kale Vabre Yuktan Sarutvijaha Krishnanumudito Partho Brahmanan Brahmavadina. Sri Shuka Uvacha Ityukta Yagye Kale Vabre Yuktan Sarutvijaha Krishnanumudito Partho Brahmanan Brahmavadina. Shri Shuka Uvacha Ityukta Yagye Kale Vabre Yuktan Sarutvijaha Krishnanumudito Partho Brahmanan Brahmavadina. Shri Shuka Uvacha Ityukta Yagye Kale Brahme Yuktan Sarutvijaha Krishnanumudito Partho Brahmanan Brahmavadina. Sri Shuka Uvacha इत्युक्ता यज्ञे काले ब्रह्मे युक्तान् स ऋत्विजा कृष्णानुमोदितो पार्थ ब्राह्मणान् ब्रह्मवादिना. Translation by S.B.10.75.6. Shri Prabhupada ki Jai. Sukadeva Goswami said, having said this, King Yudhishthira waited until the proper time for a sacrifice was at hand. Then, with the Lord Krishna's permission, he selected suitable priest, all expert authorities on the Vedas to execute the sacrifice. One more time translation. Sukadeva Goswami said, having said this, King Yudhishthira waited until the proper time, for the sacrifice was at hand. Then, with the Lord Krishna's permission, he selected suitable priests, all expert authorities on the Vedas to execute the sacrifice. Purport. The great Bhagavatam commentators Sridhar Swami explains that the proper time for the sacrifice mentioned here was the spring. I have to read next sloka also. Dvapayano Bharadvaja Samantu Gautamosita Vasishtascha Vana Kanve Maitreya Kavashantrita Vishwamitra Vamadeva Sumiti Jayamini Kruta Pailapara Garge Vaishampayana Evacha Atharva Kashyapa Dhauma Ramo Bhargava Asuri Vitihotra Madhu Chanda Virasene Krutavrana. He selected Krishna Dvapayana, Bharadwaja, Samantu, Gotama, and Asita, along with Vasishta, Chavana, Kanva, Maitreya, Kavasa, and Trita. He also selected Vishwamitra, Vamadeva, Sumati, Jaimini, Kratu, Paila, and Parashara, as well as Garga, Vishampayana, Atharva, Kashyapa, Dhaumya, Rama of the Bhargavas, Asuri, Vitihotra, Madhuchanda, Virsena, Akrataurana. Purport. King Yudhishthir invited all these exalted Brahmanas to act in a different capacity as a priest, advisors, and so on. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं. वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवां च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितं च. हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते. तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्रीराधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे. Hare Krishna. So here in this particular shloka, one very prominent point, there are two prominent points mentioned. We'll discuss one of them. So the point here mentioned is King Yudhishthira waited until the proper time for the sacrifice was at in hand. So somebody is waiting for something shows very important sign of patience. And in devotional service, the patience is one of the important quality which is mentioned. So uh, there are 6 qualities which are very beneficial for devotional service, and there are 6 qualities which one should avoid while practicing devotional service. So the qualities which one should avoid, uh, first we have to understand them, why they need to be avoided. Because these qualities, they distract us from devotional service. They force us into not follow the principles of regulation. So uh, these are clearly mentioned by Prabhupada in Nectar of Instruction, that how one should cultivate these qualities. So we will see they are very important for one to practice one's devotion service. So what is that qualities which are detrimental to spiritual practices? They are like, if someone is eating more than necessary, if someone is possessing something more than necessary, if someone is trying to uh, misuse the resources of Lord, is very very detrimental for one's devotion service. So just getting the exact shloka. Okay, I'll come to that in some part of discussion. Right now, we'll discuss about the quality of patience. So, Prabhupada wrote this quality of patience is one of the important quality. So, one of the devotee Mataji, she asked Prabhupada that how do I cultivate this quality of devotion? So, the Lilavati Mataji wrote to Prabhupada that Prabhupada, you always write about patience. So, how do I cultivate this patience? So Prabhupada very wonderfully responded to Mother Lilavati that Prabhupada said, please accept my blessing. As your question, you have asked me clarification for Krishna book when Mahavishnu says to Krishna and Arjuna that your incarnations in my appearance as a Nar Narayana. So you are speaking how this can be. The answer is when Krishna comes, all the incarnations are within him. Actually, this is very intricate question. So not to be concerned about it now. When you become more advanced, you will be able to realize these things. You ask if Yadu dynasty has continued beyond Shatasena. Yes, there is a Kshatriyas who claim to belong to the Yadu dynasty today, especially in Mathura and nearby places. How to acquire the quality of patience? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has already given us that answer. One can chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the on the street. In that state, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. So there will be consistent chanting only when we are patient, when we are humble, we are assisting in mission of Lord in a humble position. Then only we will be able to chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. So Prabhupada is writing, so I understand you are nicely preaching and still continuing to practice your daily sadhana bhakti. But continue that and Lord will reciprocate with you according to your surrender and dedication. So Prabhupada also have given very much emphasis on this particular quality of patience, because unless there is a patience, the determination will not come, because those people who are impatient, they cannot be just determined. So we can see in the example of Mother Shabari. So uh, the Shabari was the one of the lady who was serving Matanga Rishi. Matanga is the saint who was there, and she was serving for so many years. Finally, the time came when the Rishi was about to leave the planet, and the Rishi, Matanga Rishi, very happily blessed her that you serve me very wonderfully. I bless you that Lord Ram personally will come, and the Supreme Personality of Godhead will personally come and will bless you. He will give special blessing and he will accept service from you. That is the blessing given by the spiritual master of Mother Shabri. So this Mother Shabri had a complete faith in the instruction of spiritual master. So the instruction in the spiritual master is very, very important. We may just uh, not think the deepness of the instruction, but the instruction has itself power. But to the degree we have faith, that degree that instruction will fructify in our life. So Mother Shabri had a complete faith, and Mother Shabri continued her plan. Every day she will get up, she will think, this day Lord Ram will come. She will prepare, she will clean all place, and she will create bhoga for Lord. She will prepare garland. Every day that was her daily activity, and thousands of years went past, but still she is continuing. And then uh, by seeing her this activity, when Lord Ram is supposed to go to the forest for in search of Mother Sita, that time Lord happened to pass by that area, and that time when Lord saw Mother Shabri, she had prepared bhoga for Lord, and the whatever berries were prepared for Lord bhoga, they were tasted by Mother Shabri. But being Lord so affectionate and loving to her, he ate this offering. So Mother Shabri's patience helped her to continue her service, and finally she achieved the destination. Similarly, in spiritual life, the patience is one of the important quality which everyone should practice. But it is very difficult. Patience is not something which will come unless one is moved to the mode of goodness. It is very difficult for one to achieve the mode of unless one is in the mode of goodness. It is very difficult to be patient, because anybody who is in mode of passion, right, automatically he will not be able to remain patient. So one has to elevate to the mode of goodness, then only one will be able to be in patience. So there are certain things which helps us to be in the mode of goodness. So what are the things? So the mode of goodness is driven by time basically. So anybody who sleeps early, who gets up early, naturally he comes into mode of goodness. But generally in the Kali Yuga, the tendency is to remain awake late in the night, get up late in the daytime, and because of that, um, the modes affect us differently. And though we want to be in goodness, still we'll be forced to go into the mode of passion or complete ignorance. So if one want to be in mode of goodness, one has to regulate one's life. And how the life can be regulated? The life can be regulated by strong determination and strong association of devotees. Because unless one has the association of devotees, it is very difficult for one to get up. Like lot of people, they have a hard time in getting up early. But devotees of the Lord, they gets up very early. They do all their morning sadhana, everything. But anytime when we get loose in our practices, we have to always come and take association of devotees, and automatically we'll be charged to do these practices. So one is the association of devotees. Second is the way we uh, eat, the way we associate with the people, the way kind of music we hear, the way uh, we give input to all our senses. Automatically, the modes influence us. So if we try to be in goodness, we have to be trying to feed our all senses with uh, input which will keep us in mode of goodness. So mode of goodness is very much conducive for a pure devotional service, because unless one is in the mode of goodness, one will not be able to go to the pure goodness. The mode of goodness is there, but beyond that, once when we become devotee, he has to elevate oneself to the mode of pure goodness, Shuddha Sattva. That is the highest. So, but the mode of goodness helps us to elevate to that level. And if one goes to that level, then naturally one will be able to come to the path of pure devotional service gradually by practice and perseverance. So this practice is very, very important. Like Krishna, when in Bhagavad Gita, when Arjuna and they were discussing, that time Arjuna is saying that, oh Krishna, this mind is very difficult to control. Then Krishna told him, Abhyasanute Kaunte, by practice constantly you will be able to come out of your conditioning, and you can practice this mode of goodness, and you can continue your practices. So one has to really consider the instruction which are given by Lord in Bhagavad Gita about mode of goodness. Entire Bhagavad Gita talks about this uh, in terms of
Following the determination, Prabhupada writes, determination means continuing the practice of Krishna consciousness with patience and perseverance. If one does not immediately attain the desired result, one should not think, oh, what is this Krishna consciousness? I will give up. No, we must have determination and faith in Krishna's word. In this regard, there is a mundane example. When the young girl is getting married, she immediately hankers for a child. She thinks, now I am married, I must have a child immediately. But how is this possible? The girl must have patience, become a faithful wife, serve her husband, and with her love as it grows, eventually she is married. It is certain that she will have a child. Similarly, we are in Krishna consciousness. Our perfection is guaranteed, but we must have patience and determination. We should think, I must execute my duties and should not be impatient. Impatience is due to loss of determination, and loss of determination is due to excessive sex. The yogi should be determined and should patiently uh, prosecute Krishna consciousness without deviation. One should be sure to have success at the end of and pursue this course with a great perseverance, not become discouraged. If there is any delay in attaining of success, success is sure for a rigid practitioner. Regarding Bhakti Yoga, Rupa Goswami says, Utsahat Nityat Dhairyat Tat Karna Pravartanat Sangatyagat Sato Vritti Shadbir Bhakti Prasiddhati. The process of Bhakti Yoga can be executed successfully with full hearted enthusiasm, perseverance, and determination by following the prescribed duties in the association of devotees and by engaging completely in the activities of goodness. As for determination, one should follow the example of sparrow who lost her eggs in the waves of ocean. A sparrow laid her eggs near the ocean, and the ocean waves came and they took away the eggs. And that time, the sparrow was so much determined. She was telling the ocean that give my eggs back, otherwise I'll dry you up. So ocean started laughing at the sparrow. So that time, uh, everywhere this news got news spread, and that news went to Garuda. And when the Garuda heard my sister is having hard time, Garuda personally comes, and then when Garuda, the carrier of Lord, challenges ocean, that time the ocean uh, immediately returns the eggs of the sparrow. So like that way, Prabhupada writes, the determination should be like that. That one should continue and have full faith that Lord will definitely help, because the success of our every endeavor is not just depend on our endeavors, it is depends on the mercy of the Lord. So that is how the practitioner has his duty to perform, but ultimately he is depend on the mercy of the Lord. So similarly, the practice of yoga, especially Bhakti Yoga in Krishna consciousness, may appear to be very difficult job, but if one follows the principle with a great determination, the Lord will surely help. The God helps those who help themselves. Gradually, step by step, one should become situated in a trance by means of intelligence, sustained by full conviction, and thus the mind should be fixed on the self alone, should not think nothing anything else. We are the self, and Krishna is also the self. When there is a sunlight, when we see the sun ourselves also, however, when there is dense darkness, we sometimes cannot even see our own body. Although the body is there, the darkness is so dense that I cannot see myself. But when the sunshine is present, I can see myself as well as the sun. Similarly, seeing self means first of all seeing the Supreme Self, Krishna. In the Katha Upanishad, it is stated that Nitya Nityanam Chetaso Chetanam. The Supreme Self is the chief eternal of all eternals, and is the chief living being of all living beings. Krishna consciousness means fixing the mind on Krishna. When the mind is thus fixed, it is fixed on the complete whole. If a stomach is cared for and supplied nutritious food, all the body limbs are nourished and we are in good health. Similarly, if the water is provided at the root of the tree, all the branches, leaves, flowers, and twigs are automatically taken care. By the rendering service to Krishna, we automatically render the best service to all others. As stated before, a Krishna conscious person does not need to sit down idly. He knows Krishna consciousness is such an important philosophy that it should not be disturbed. Therefore, members of Krishna consciousness society are not just sitting in the temple but are going on the out for Sankirtan parties, preaching, distributing the supreme philosophy. That is the mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his disciples. Other yogis may satisfy with their own elevation and sit in secluded place. Practicing yoga for them, yoga is nothing more than the personal concern. A devotee, however, is not satisfied just by elevating his personal self. I offer my respectful obeisance unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord, who are fulfilling the desire of everyone, just like a desire tree, and who are full of compassion for all fallen soul. A devotee displays compassion towards conditioned soul. With the word Krupa means mercy, and Sindhu means ocean. A devotee is the ocean of mercy, and he naturally wants to distribute this mercy. Lord Jesus Christ, for the instance, was God consciousness, Krishna consciousness, but he was not satisfied in keeping this knowledge within himself. He has continued to live alone in God consciousness. He would not have met crucifixion. But no, being the devotee naturally compassionate, he also wanted to take care of others by making them God conscious. Although he was forbidden to preach God consciousness, he continued to do so at the risk of his own life. This is the nature of devotee. It is stated in Bhagavad Gita 18.68 and 69 that devotee who preaches is most dear to the Lord. Yadam yadidam paramam guhyam mad bhakteshu abhidekshanti bhakti mai param kritva mamai vashyati asamshaya. For one who explains the supreme secret to devotees, devotional service is guaranteed, and at the end he will come back to me. There is no servant in the world more dear to me than he, nor he will there be your one who more dear. Therefore, devotees go out to preach, and going forth, they sometimes meet opposing elements. Sometimes they are defeated, sometimes they disappointed, sometimes able to convince, sometimes unable. It is not just every devotee is well equipped to preach. Just as there are different types of people, there are three classes of devotees. In the third class are those who has highest stage. Most probably they will slip after some time. They may become engaged, but because they have not complete conviction and faith, it is very difficult for them to continue Krishna consciousness. We have practical experience in discharging our missionary activities that some people come and apply Krishna consciousness with some hidden motives, and as soon as they are economically a little well situated, they give up this process and take to their old way again. It is only by faith that one can advance in Krishna consciousness. As far as development of faith is concerned, one who is well versed in the literatures of devotional service and has attained the stage of firm faith is called first class person in Krishna consciousness. And in the second class are those who are not very advanced in understanding the devotional scriptures, but who automatically have firm faith that Krishna Bhakti or service to Krishna is the best course, and so in good faith have taken it up. Thus, they are superior to the third class, who are neither perfect knowledge of the scripture, not good faith, but by association and simply by trying to follow the third class person in Krishna consciousness may fall down, but when in the second class or first class, he does not fall down. One in the first class will surely make progress and achieve the result at the end. As far as the third class person in Krishna consciousness is concerned, although he has faith and conviction that devotional service to Krishna is very good, he has no knowledge of Krishna. Although the scriptures like Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, sometimes this third class person in Krishna consciousness have very some tendency towards karma yoga or jnana yoga, and sometimes they are disturbed. But as soon as the infection of karma yoga, jnana yoga is vanquished, they become second class and first class person in Krishna consciousness. Faith in Krishna is also divided into three stages and described in Srimad Bhagavatam. The first class attachment, second class attachment, and third class attachment are also explained in Srimad Bhagavatam in the 11th canto. However, one is situated, one should have the determination to go out and preach Krishna consciousness. That endeavor should at least be there. and one who attempts to preach render the best service to the Lord. Despite opposition, one should attempt to elevate people to the highest standard of self-realization. One who has actually seen the truth, who is in the trance of self-realization, cannot just sit idly. He must come out. Ramanujacharya, for instance, declared the Hare Krishna mantra publicly. He did not distribute it secretly for some fee. Recently, a Indian yogi came to America to give some private mantra. But if a mantra has any power, why should it be private? If a mantra is powerful, why should it not be publicly declared so that everyone can take advantage of it? We are saying that this Hare Krishna Mahamantra can save everyone, and we are publicly distributing uh, in the free of charge. But in this age, people are so foolish that they are not prepared to accept it. Rather, they hanker after some secret mantra and therefore pay some yogi $35 and whatever so for the private mantra. This is because people want to be cheated, but the devotees are preaching without charge, declaring in the street, parks, everywhere. Here is the Hare Krishna mantra. Come on, take it. But under the spell of Maya, people are thinking, oh, this is not good. But if you change something, if you charge something and bluff and cheat people, they will follow you. In this regard, there is a Hindi verse stated in Kali Yuga is such as abominable age. If one speaks the truth, people will come and beat you. But if one cheats, bluff, and lies, people will be bewildered and will like it and will accept it. If I say I am God, people will say, oh, here is a Swamiji, here is God. In this age, people don't have sufficient brain power to inquire. How have you become God? What are the symptoms of God? Do you have all these symptoms? People do not make much inquiries. They are cheated. Therefore, it is necessary to be fixed in consciousness of the self. Unless one knows and understands the real self and the super self, one will be cheated. Real yoga means understanding this process of self-realization. So here are the few things which Prabhupada was commenting about how it is important for one to be situated and understand what level of one is situated, and if one continues practicing with it, one's determination, one will be getting ultimately the mercy of the Lord. And for this doing this thing, one need to be determined, and one need to have patience. Patience is very important quality which here Yudhishthir Maharaj has shown. And the second thing which Yudhishthir Maharaj mentioned, express here is the permissioning. So if we see the age wise, Parikshit Maharaj, Yudhishthir Maharaj was elderly to Lord Krishna, but Lord is Lord. So Yudhishthir Maharaj is taking permission from Lord to perform this activity. So it is very nice etiquette to seek permission while beginning any auspicious activity in our life. Generally nowadays it is considered like why to, it's everybody is independent, why to take permission, but when we take permission, indirectly we seek and invoke the blessing of the person whom we are taking the permission. And sometimes if the permission is taken, while taking permission, some valuable guidance is also given how to perform that particular activity. So like we have seen examples of lot of devotee, when they start preaching or they want to begin their any new service, they will go to their guru, they will go to their colleagues, friends and everybody, and they will say, please bless me, I am trying to do this endeavor. So seeking permission is very helpful. It is not something which we are becoming slave of somebody. No, permissioning is very helpful. That shows that we are dependent on others. That doesn't make one proud. So that's where here Yudhishthira Maharaj is taking permission of Lord before beginning the sacrifice and before selecting the priest for the sacrifice. So that shows that he is well cultured. So independent mentality is very much condemned in the Vedic life, and the dependent mentality is very much appreciated. Why it is done that? Because those who are independent, they may commit errors, but those who are dependent, they are protected. Accountability leads to the security, any field of the life. So it may be spiritual life, it might be uh, material life also. So That's where here it is very very important point which Yudhishthira Maharaj showing through his example, that how he is waiting, he's showing patience, and how he is taking permission from the Lord to perform his activities. So, like a lot of times we see any, uh, let us say someone starts company or someone start anything new, he immediately first he'll do worship and then he'll begin. So to invoke the blessing, it is very important to begin with the auspicious thing. Similarly, here also Yudhishthira Maharaj is taking blessing from Lord. So uh, we have to see that uh, every day, whatever we begin, if we begin our day with taking the blessing of the Lord, it will really help us to make the best decision, because the intelligence also comes from the Lord. And if we get the nice intelligence, we'll be able to take good decision in our life, and that's how we'll be able to progress in any field. It is just not a spiritual life, but all the fields we can improve if we seek the blessing of the Lord every day in the beginning and say, thanks a Lord, you have given me one more day to perform my activity. So that's how if one shows one's gratefulness to the Lord, automatically Lord will reciprocate. Lord is very kind. Lord hears prayers, and every devotee has unique connection with the Lord. So as uh, prayers are offered, same way the reciprocation comes. But the prayers offered with faith have more quick reciprocation than just saying prayers. And specifically, there are wonderful prayers mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam, and there are so many Vaishnava songs which are prayed by pure devotees of the Lord. So if we use these devotees' prayers, then these are already prayed by the pure devotees of the Lord. So immediately they are answered, they are responded. So that's how it is mentioned. Srimad Bhagavatam is the cream of all the Vedic literatures, and cream of Srimad Bhagavatam is called Vaishnava songs. So all the Vaishnava songs, if we deeply contemplate on the meaning of them, they have deep, deep meaning. And those devotees who are advanced in Krishna consciousness, as the day progresses, they try to meditate more and more on the meaning of the Vaishnava songs. So one Vaishnava song is very, very powerful, and it has a lot of in-depth meaning. So I like to pause here. If any comments, feedbacks, questions.
Um, during the course of the presentation, the point was raised that patience is dependent on determination. And you read a little section that mention was made by Srila Prabhupada that determination can be lost through something. And if I heard correctly, it was breaking a regulative principle. Is that correct?
Yeah. So, Mata is saying like determination is very much required to follow the regulative principles. Yeah. Determination is very, very important for following all the regulative principles. And if one is lacks that, then one cannot continue the principle following. Anything you want to add, Prabhu? Okay, then I will stop here. Shri Prabhupada ki Jai.